Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode, number 3 of The Social Church. Thanks for coming back, and I hope you've enjoyed the past 2 episodes. I know I've enjoyed making them, putting them out there for you. So yeah, if you have any good suggestions, I know I've gotten some good feedback so far. If you have anything, just go to socialchurch.tv and leave a comment there or email me. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So let's just dive right in. And what I want to talk about today is something, expound a little bit more on something that I talked about in the last episode, which was that we need to ask questions as a church on Facebook or on Twitter or any other social media platform. We need to ask questions and the importance of that. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about why that is important and what type of questions we should be asking of our community. So, like I said in the last episode, it's very important to ask questions, and it opens up a lot of ways for you to interact with your community, and people will interact with you if you ask them questions. So, some good things, some good ideas First, let me tell you why it's important to ask questions as a church. Because intentional questions, I've found, they cause our community here at our church, they cause our community to think more deeply and think more intentionally about the way they live their lives on a weekly basis. So, I'll throw out questions on Facebook or Twitter just about the previous week's sermon that was taught, or how they're applying what was taught on Sunday, or what they're learning in their small groups. And it's just another reminder for them to actually live out what they're learning on a weekly basis and even on a daily basis. And not only is it a good reminder, but it also gives them the opportunity to talk back with you and with the rest of the people in the community about what they are learning or what they're struggling with. And yeah, so it's just a good, intentional way to remind people of what they have learned and that they should be applying it on a daily basis. Sorry, I keep saying they. I should be referring to it as we, because I'm a part of this community as well. So I'm a big, huge advocate of asking intentional questions on Facebook and Twitter. And again, it just, opens up a world of community interaction with that. So now, what kind of questions should you be asking? I've kind of already touched on this, but just intentional questions about the past week's sermon, or just throw out what they're learning that week or what they're struggling with. Just throw out, hey, like, what are you struggling with this week? Or a lot of times on Mondays, I'll throw out a question on Facebook from our church that says, what is getting you through this day? Happy Monday. And then again, there's the poll feature on Facebook, which I talked about a little bit last week, but that just gives you the opportunity to post a question and then list multiple answers that people can choose. And it's just another good way to ask questions. Good fill in the blank questions. I use that a lot. It's good to use true false questions. All of these very simple ways to ask questions. They seem simple, and they are simple, but they are great ways to allow your community to interact. So that's the first thing I just wanted to touch on this week. So if you've got some good suggestions of questions that you've asked on your church's Facebook page, or on Twitter or Google Plus or whatever, send them to me. I'd love to hear them, and I'd love to share them with the rest of the community. So yeah, so ask intentional questions. I'm a firm believer in that. And so the second thing I want to cover today is actually a question that came in from one of my friends, actually, who watched the first episode, and his question was, do I from Park Community Church's Twitter account, do I go through and block spam followers or people who seem like spam? Usually it's pretty easy to tell if it's a spam Twitter account. And so he was just asking me, do I go through and block those accounts that are spam, or do I just kind of let it run free and anyone can follow us who wants to? And it's a very good question, and it's one that doesn't come up a lot, but I think it is a good one to think about. So what I do here at Park is I will go through every sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's less frequent than that, but I'll go through our followers and see who is following us, and usually I will always block the accounts that have pictures that are provocative, or women that just aren't wearing much clothing, and I will block them if it's obvious that is a spam account. Now, what are some signs that it is a spam account? Well, if you usually if you click on their profile and all of their tweets are just tweets about weight loss, or trying to sell something, like every other tweet or every tweet, that's usually a good sign that it's a spam account. Also, if they're following 20,000 people and they have like 10 followers, that's usually a pretty good sign that they're spam. So there's some simple ways to tell on your own whether it's a spam account or not. And but sometimes it's a little harder to tell. Sometimes they've got 10,000, they're following 10,000 people, but they've also got 7,000 followers, and you might think, oh well, that looks a little more legitimate. And their tweets are kind of hard to decipher whether they're trying to just sell something all the time, or they're just spamming people. So in those cases, there are tools available online that let you plug in your Twitter account information. So you would put in your username and your password, and there are some very legit ones. I know that's kind of a touchy subject, or it can get kind of dangerous when you're just plugging in your Twitter account information, because you don't want to get hacked. There is a lot of hacking going on in Twitter these days. So, and I cannot remember the titles of those legitimate sites right now, but I'll go back and they'll be listed right here on the screen, and I'll list them in the show notes below as well. But there are some very good tools that allow you to tell. They actually scan through all of your followers and let you know which ones are most likely spam accounts. And then they will let you block those in bulk, or you can go through one by one and look at them, make sure they really are spam. But yeah, so but I usually take the route of just we don't get a ton of spam followers, and to be honest, I don't know what causes spam followers or not, but we don't get a ton, so normally I'll just click on our followers and go through the list and see, okay, like this one is most likely spam, or this one's definitely spam, and I'll just go through and block them. Now, why does it even matter? Why should you even care about blocking spam followers? Well, a lot of times what will happen is, well, first of all, it doesn't necessarily reflect well on you as a church if a lot of your followers are spam accounts, and many times spam accounts have very provocative pictures or lewd pictures of women, different things. So that, first of all, doesn't reflect well on you or your account. And I've actually gotten questions from our leadership here before, when I first started here, asking, do I care, or does it matter who follows us? Because people can see that, and if there's like provocative pictures on our followers list, they might that might reflect poorly on us as a church. So, but you do want to make sure that they are spam, because if they are real people, obviously, they could be coming to your church on a regular basis, and you don't want to block them and give them a negative connotation of your church. So, anyways, it is important, and one, for just image and the reflection on you as a church. Two, because many times spam followers will mention you in a tweet, and that tweet might contain a link, and many times it can be they're very tricky and sneaky. So it can look like a legitimate tweet, and then you click on the link, and all of a sudden, your Twitter account is hacked, and it sends out the same @ reply, or same mention, or maybe even a DM, sends out the same one to all of your followers. And so, again, that just makes us as a church look horrible. We definitely don't want that happening to our followers on Twitter. That's just poor conduct and poor treatment of our followers. So it is important. So thank you, Joseph. That was @Joseph Dickens who asked that question. And it is a very important one. So I do think we should be paying attention to that as churches on social media. So thank you for that question, Joseph. And if any of you have any questions, I'd love to hear them and answer them here on the show. I love getting feedback, getting questions, getting comments. So yeah, give me your questions. I'm @JBurno on Twitter, or you can go to thesocialchurch.tv and leave a comment there, and yeah, I would love to talk to you and get your questions answered on the following episodes. So I think that about wraps it up. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. I love talking to you guys, and yeah. So I think what I want to start doing is I want to do a pick of the week. Now, this is kind of a very common thing on podcasts and shows. I do this on one of my other podcasts, and it's just a lot of fun. Giving good tips or cool tools to use as in social media. But this is just a plain old school tool that I just got, and it is the New Year calendar. And what it does is it's basically a huge printed out calendar that just lists the whole year in sequence by months. So you can look at the whole year at one time, and it's really cool. So that is my pick of the week, and you can find that at, I believe it's newyear.com, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I'll put the link below in the show notes. But this show's already getting too long, and I'm not even interviewing anyone, so there will probably be longer episodes in the future. But anyways, I love you guys. Keep up the good work. I think you guys are doing some of the most important work in the world by communicating the gospel in the church and implementing these new tools that we have in use today. So keep it up, and we will see you guys next time. All right, peace. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, San Diego. Bow.